usually stand over there. And that's a much more comfortable spot for me, okay? But I do stand there on Sunday mornings, and do you know why? I love making music, especially when I make music with a group of friends who like making the same kind of music that I like making. And I especially like making music in church, because that's my favorite way to pray. Okay, so it all started because I loved singing. And since I didn't know anyone who could play guitar or piano for me back then, I decided I had to learn to play guitar. Of course, I was only 14 back then. And I begged my mom for my first guitar. It was a Sears Silvertone. I mean, it's not exactly the Stradivarius of guitars, but it was worth every penny of the $20 that my mom spent paying for it. And between that guitar and the 5 o'clock mass that I like to go to on Sundays, I thought I found my calling. St. Mary's always had this little booklet of the songs that the folk mass was going to have. And in that booklet, they had the chords to the songs. So I borrowed the little booklet and brought it home with me and started working on my songs. Granted, they were all very easy songs to sing, just like And They'll Know We're Christians by Our Love was one of them. And I would practice those songs. And when I got to high school, I attended Mary Immaculate Academy. Okay? That was a girls' school, a Catholic girls' school. And there were about 140 girls attending. But one of the things they did is, on every first Friday of the month, we would have a mass, and it would be in the gym at 1 o'clock. Okay? And after that, we all got dismissed early. Well, at first, the school would sing the songs a cappella. No, there was no background music, I think the music teacher was able to stay at that time, and then eventually he just couldn't stay any longer. So the principal had heard that I liked to play guitar, so she came up to me one day and she said, Linda, do you think you can play some hymns for us on First Fridays? And of course, I go, yeah, I would love to play hymns for you. I said, can Janice do it with me? She was my good friend, and between the two of us, we were quite the singers. And so at that point, I was so excited. I told her yes, and Janice could help me. But you have to remember, we would do this mass in a gym, and there'd be like about 150 girls there. They were all singing. There were no mics. So we learned to sing loud and to play loud, and we were joyful, and we had a great time. The best part of First Fridays, though, that, I didn't have to go to any classes. I would just go around to all of the classes, and I would say, okay, let's all practice this song. And the nuns would just sit down, and we would all practice the song, and we'd move on to another class, and we'd do the same. Never went to class on First Fridays. And the other fun thing was that in typing, Sister Cyril, I loved her. She was very determined to help me pick out songs. So I would go to typing, never learned to type because I was sitting next to Sister Cyril's record player, and she would play songs for me, such as the Prayer of St. Francis. I would sit there, everybody else is typing along, and I'd be trying to figure out how to play these songs, but then she'd make sure I got the music, so I knew what the chords were. Okay, so we're moving along here, and I married David. We had kids, and it was kind of hard when the kids were little to play guitar, because, you got 3 little kids under the age of 2. You don't have much time at that point. I was a little sad about not having time to play. Then one day I turned on the TV, and there's this priest who was giving a sermon, and he was talking about using your talents. So I listened for a little bit to see what he had to say. And he said, if you play guitar, that's who you are. I thought, oh my God, God talked to me. I felt blessed at that point. So then, it was a couple of weeks later when Pastor Joe Hansen came up to me and goes, do you know anybody who plays guitar? We need someone to play music with the junior high kids. I play guitar. I could do it. I'd be happy to do it. So that's how I got started playing music here. So one day, Pastor Joe Hansen came up and he said, I'd like to invite the Emanuel kids to go sing at that early morning Easter sunrise service out by the library. Do you guys think you could do it? And of course, you know me, I don't say no. I said, yeah, we could do that. So me and one other kid showed up over there. But first, Pastor Johansson says, you need a name. What's the name of this group? We had 5 minutes to come up with a name, and the name was the New Day Singers. Why? Because when Christ came, he brought a new day, a new beginning for all of us. It was as if the sun re-rose and we had a new day. That's where that name comes from. And of course, it's stuck around for a long time. In those early days, I've been involved in music for a long time now. We started with 3 services where you had the 8:30 service and they had their singers. And then we had the 9:15 contemporary service, which the New Day Singers played at. And then we also had the 11 o'clock traditional service. By the time the 9:15 service came about, the New Day Singers had evolved into a lot of, adults also, with a couple of the kids, and it just moved on to the group that you see today. The music service times have changed. We've incorporated many different hymnals. Music styles have changed. Even I changed. I still play with the New Day Singers, but now I also sing with the Anthem Choir, which has brought me a lot of fun, joy. I never thought I would be in the Anthem Choir. It's just not the guitar-led music. But you know what? I've gotten to know everyone, and I found that the music that we play here at Emanuel reflects the diversity of the congregants of our church. We have many diverse hearts reflecting many diverse styles of music. And I think that we've eventually kind of evolved into a church where we have so many different types of music being played on a Sunday, and I find that we're extremely fortunate to have that. One important part about being involved with the music at Emanuel has been, choir is not an elite thing. We have people from many musical backgrounds who sing with us. I'm not a trained musician. I never really had a music lesson. I learned to play guitar with little music books, learning how to play the chords, and so I'm not as good a reader as other people around me. But you know what? Working with other people, you start to develop and build on your skills. We're extremely fortunate to have Jeff Soroyce as our director. His musical leadership skills, kindness, and sense of humor have made our rehearsals a great experience. Choir, regardless of the choir that you're in, it's a fun place to be. And I want to brag a little bit too. We have great choirs with great people, and we are so fortunate. And the door is always open to anyone who would like to also participate in the choirs. So let's say you want to participate in one or both of our choirs, but you can't make a full commitment. Talk to Jeff. He would be an excellent person to talk to. Maybe you want to just sing for the Christmas services, or maybe you want to sing for Easter, or you want to be part of the summer pickup choir. Those opportunities are there for your taking. You don't have to feel like you have to be a trained musician. You just come and sing along with everyone. And there's also the Worship and Arts Committee. If you're interested in exploring how we make our services a more meaningful and vibrant place for our congregation, you're welcome to attend and to provide us with your thoughts and anything else that you want to contribute. Talk to me, I'll let you know when the next meeting will be, or you can speak to anyone on the committee. There's always room for new folks and new ideas. So, thanks for listening to me.